Great. We'll go ahead and start with questions.
Kirk, when you look at the first half of the year, what are the primary categories you felt you've done well, and what are the things you feel like you need to improve on, big picture wise?
Well, we did really well the first 4 weeks. You know, I think we have to become more consistent. You know, we have to develop the ability to make more explosive plays. You know, and just be more consistent overall in every phase. You know, that the consistency is the biggest thing. You know, as we continue to develop our players, I think the explosive play stuff will come back around with us, but consistency.
What's been your message to the receivers this week as they try to get back on track?
I think it's really simple. Is that they got to stay aggressive, right? You know, and I talked to them about, you know, when I got here in December and I watched the bowl prep, and I'm analyzing where everybody's at, right? And then I watch them go through the winter, and I'm analyzing where are we in our development, and I watch them in spring ball, right? And I've watched them improve and then go through training camp and then the first part of the season. I've watched them improve consistently, and they got to stay aggressive. And you know, that's where, like in training camp, when I thought they were starting to turn the corner, was that they were aggressive. They were attacking every ball. They were attacking every route as if they were going to win. Did they win them all? No. You know, and I just wanted to see them get back to that mindset, that determined mindset, that committed mindset, you know, that it takes in order to continue to grow and improve and to get better. You know, you got to attack. If you know, if you hesitate, you've decreased your chances of having a positive outcome exponentially. You know, and so I just wanted to see them, you know, continue. They're good players, you know, and they've proven that they can play at a high level. But we have to take, you have to take what they've learned, right, through their experiences, and now use that as fuel and fire to help keep them moving forward, right, and to play confidently. So I just want to see them be aggressive again on Saturday. I didn't think we were as aggressive against Illinois. You know, and I just want to see that aggressive mindset, and you know, eventually it'll happen for them. They have enough talent to be able to do it.
Kirk, when you were recruiting Athan, what stood out with him, and where has he taken to develop it here for you?
Well, I think the first thing was just his skill set, right? You know, I recognized right away that he had a special skill set at a young age. You know, I think he was in 10th grade I think it was the spring of his 10th grade year was the first time I saw him throw. You know, and immediately I was like, wow, this guy's at this age in his development, you know, at that age and that stage in his development, I was like, this kid has unbelievable potential and ability. So, you know, it wasn't most of the time when I see a kid that young. I've had a few quarterbacks that turned out to be great players for us that when I watched them as 10th graders, I was like, we'll see. You know, and then we ended up, by the time they were, you know, seniors, I was like, yeah, I like that kid. Let's take him. You know, that they grew. But with the moment I saw him, you know, I felt really good about his skill set. And then when I had an opportunity to meet his family when they came on campus and visited, you know, I knew he was the right kind of kid for our program and our culture, and that, you know, he could handle being a leader in the program and being the part of the face of the program someday.
What stands out while evaluating Penn State's defense?
Well, their overall athleticism, you know, and team speed is tremendous. Their secondary is probably the best secondary we've faced up to this point. You know, they're experienced, they're really talented back there with it. But their overall athleticism probably has me the most worried. I know what their skill sets are like, you know, with it. So it's going to be a great challenge, one that I'm looking forward to.
Kirk, how do you look back at your time at Penn State?
Well, let's say this, you know, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, you know, and so that's disappointing, right? And there were a lot of reasons for that, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it, but it was, but I'm a better person for it and a better coach, and there was a lot of things I learned. And I wouldn't change my journey that I've had in the coaching world for anything. You know, there's been bumps in the road at times, and there's been highs and lows, right, with it. But along the way, I've learned a lot and experiences that I can continue to share that hopefully helps, you know, our young players model their life after, right? That we all face adversity at different times, and it's not the adversity, it's how you respond to it that really matters, you know, with it. And so I don't have any ill feelings towards Penn State or James or the program there. It just didn't go the way I wanted it to go.
Sure.
Kirk, you grew up in the state of Pennsylvania. You played at Juniata and you coached in the state, obviously. What's it mean just to be going back there and coaching this time?
I don't really think about those kind of things. You know, I know that the ticket requests are high. You know, and normally we go on the road and I don't have anything to worry about except for the game. So I know Monday I took like about 45 minutes out of the day to make sure that I had the right amount of tickets, that I had all that stuff taken care of so that I wasn't going to have to think about it anymore during the week. And luckily I got a great wife who, you know, is spearheading all that anyhow. But it'll be nice for me to see some family and see some friends. It's nice that, you know, these people that I know probably every other Saturday are rooting for Penn State that live in the state of Pennsylvania, but I know that they'll be rooting for Minnesota this Saturday, so that's kind of cool. But really, to me, it's another game, and it's a big game, and it's against a great opponent. And whether it just happens to be their name happens to be Penn State, you know, it could just as easily be Michigan, Ohio State, or USC, or Iowa, or Wisconsin. Like anybody in the Big Ten, they're all big games.
Kirk, here's a shot in the dark. Did Tanner practice this morning?
You have to ask PJ those questions, but he's doing surprisingly well.
Sure. PJ has talked about how, you know, he's a veteran that maybe doesn't need as much prep time as somebody else. How do you view what he needs to be doing at some point this week to be ready if he is cleared to practice or to play on Saturday?
Yeah, I think a guy that's played as much football as him, you know, can go out and play on Saturday. You know, I don't think you can do that, you know, consecutive weeks. I think eventually it catches up to you when you're doing that. But I do think a guy with that type of experience, you know, can do that 1 week with it. You know, he watches the film, the whole 9 yards. I don't think he's going to get rusty as far as that goes. And the mental part of the game is his strength anyhow, one of his strengths. So I don't have any concerns about that. I would have a concern if it was something where it was going to go every week he wasn't going to be able to practice and then try to play on Saturday. I think eventually your skills start to erode a little bit if that's the case.
Got time for one or two more for Coach?
Kirk, what have you seen with Tanner as far as just not just about this week, but like his love for the game and how much he kind of enjoys doing it. I know he did it as a kid growing up in Kentucky for a long time. What have you seen just as far as his passion to play?
Yeah, I mean, if you were on a scale of 1 to 10 for passion, he'd be an 11. You know, he loves the preparation part of it. He loves the game, right? And he has the right idea too with it. You know, he understands that in order for him to be confident on Saturdays, there's work that needs to be done. You know, he wants to play his best every Saturday. So he's able to prepare that way and put in the work and the action behind that so he can feel like he's at his best on Saturday. And that's an easy thing to say, but it's a hard thing to do for someone 365 days out of the year. And that's really the way, you know, he's lived his life since way before I ever met him. With it, something's been instilled, you know, from him at a young age from his mom and dad, you know, and he's really taken it to heart. And that's why he's had the kind of success that he's had, you know, is just his ability to work and continue to improve every single day.
One more if anyone's got it. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, guys, you guys take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kirk.